let's talk to, let's see, Jason, him from Indiana. How are you doing, Jason?
Hi, Jason.
Hey, I'm good. How are you, Keelah?
We're doing well.
Taking my call.
So I have here, you're a former Christian and now a counseling student, and you're disappointed about some non-evidence-based treatments.
Yeah, it's been quite the journey. I grew up evangelical, started to dismantle those beliefs in my 30s, and the theme that kept coming up for me was that I just felt like faith wasn't good enough, and I needed more evidence. And I was getting really tired of pastors and youth pastors telling me that I just needed to have faith that it was true. Did a whole self-discovery journey, and that included a career change. So now I'm pursuing a master's in mental health counseling, and school has been awesome. Thank you. Thanks. School's been great. We're learning evidence-based modalities and, everything. I love psychology. Everything is science-based. But now I'm in my internship, and I've just been pretty blown away by how many non-evidence-based practices make it into therapy, kind of smuggled underneath some of the evidence-based.
Gotcha. This sounds like this is more in your wheelhouse. Like, I get it.
Yep.
Like,
give us a quick example there of what you mean.
Please.
Okay. So the most extreme one was a client I had who has begun hearing voices in the past couple of years. And they had a distant family history of schizophrenia, and that's definitely where my diagnosis was leading me. And I spoke with my supervisor about it, and she said, well, how can you discount that these voices aren't real? And I was taken back, and I said, well, family history of schizophrenia, I'm looking for the most probable, explanation for this. And she said, well, as counselors, we need to be very open-minded. And I got about a 10-minute lecture about how people can talk to spirits, and that I should encourage this client to volunteer at a funeral home to help spirits cross over.
Wow.
Yeah, that was rough. That was, I made the decision to kind of discreetly suggest to their parents to take them elsewhere, which they did, and also mention the schizophrenia. And then a more common example is essential oils. It seems like with every client, someone's breaking out a briefcase and saying, if you put this scent on the back of your spine, it will enter your spinal cord and reduce cortisol. And,
I'm well aware of those.
It's alongside God. Okay. Yeah. It's alongside cognitive behavioral therapy and EMDR and things that actually work. But it's just been a trip. I feel like, I escaped the world of being proselytized to regarding Christianity, and I'm being proselytized to about alternative therapies and ancient Chinese medicine. But I am in the Midwest, so disclaimer there.
Yeah. I mean, can I just say thank you for doing the best you could for that individual, and suggesting that they go elsewhere. If you were not comfortable with what was being suggested, doing your best for that patient is your primary goal. And so thank you for having the courage to actually go against what you were being told. That's huge.
Thanks. Yeah, I know a lot.
And then the next thing that stands out about what I see is, you say non-evidence based, and it seems to me that there is a decent subset of the population who believes in this kind of stuff, that evidence isn't really why they believe it. So it seems to be very difficult to evidence them out of it. Does that make sense?
It's also kind of backlash because especially in the States at the moment, what you're seeing is a backlash against the last 20, 30 years of hard drugs being pushed by what would be considered large pharma. Now, the reason why those drugs were pushed was because they were seen as the easiest and quickest relief for whatever was ailing the person. But when it comes to mental health, we're only scratching the surface. So only now are we seeing that drugging someone on Ritalin is not the greatest way of helping someone through a struggle with their mental health. I have bipolar, and when I was diagnosed with bipolar, the first thing that they tried to do was put me on to drugs. And thankfully, my mum was strong enough to say, actually, no, I want her to be able to handle her and manage her emotions in a better way than just popping pills. And so it took 7 years to find the right person that was willing to help me do that. So, and
Yeah,
I'm willing to
that's
bet it was someone like you who refused to just accept that it's A or B, and that there is actually different ways of dealing with someone's mental health. What's happening now is the backlash. You know, you're seeing a rise in anti-professionalism, and so if you're seen to be big pharma, or if you're seen to be organized medicine, then you're bad. And so to be cool, you have to try all of these new different techniques. And use the excuse that they've been tried and tested before. Well, they were tried and tested before we had penicillin. They were tried and tested before we had actual medicines that can assist with whether it's mood stabilizers, whether it's antipsychotics. It was done before that time, and there is this move to be quote unquote simpler. But again, as you said, it's not scientific. And the proof is in the pudding. A lot of what's happening now is placebo effect, and it's not working. Sadly, it's not working. So I would ask you to keep looking, because there will be someone in your area that you will connect with that will actually teach you what you need to know and how to be strong in that. Do not allow these people, these con artists, and I say con artists, they actually do believe what they're saying. Some of them do believe what they're saying, but at the same time, don't lose faith in you. That's the main thing. If you believe that you can make a difference to someone's life, do not allow the con artist to push you out of that. You know, break through it, transcend it the way you did religion. And you can. There's plenty of people that have done it. You can do that.
I don't think I have anything I can
Thank
add
you.
to that. That was awesome.
Yeah, thank you. That was great.
And I get that
definitely.
in Indiana, this is probably easier said than done.
Oh, very.
But yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
We appreciate you fighting the good fight, and you know, keeping an eye out and for these things and calling attention to it. So
You're amazing.
yeah, I couldn't give anything better than what Keelah did. So did you have any last minute things to add?
Myself? No, I'm
No,
good.
Jason, did you have
no,
anything else to add to that?
Oh, just, I guess just encourage people to really do the same when they're seeing a therapist, and really kind of press them for what sort of modalities they're using. And, and if they break out the Young Living case, run.
Yes. And also for yourself, Jason, it might be an idea. And again, this is part of the benefit of having a global community, is get in contact with people from outside your area and ask them for advice, ask them how to handle this situation and what's the best route forward in dealing with these situations.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much for giving us a call, Jason.
Frustrating that they're all licensed.
No. Well, keep us informed though. Keep engaging with us and let us know how things are going for you. We got to move on to other things. We have a long docket of calls today.